It's Friday night, just a few days before Christmas. I don't have the live stream set up, but I will be live Christmas Day to do Chiefs Raiders. So hopefully you will tune in and listen to my play-by-play for Chiefs Raiders. Man, I'm jacked up. I got coffee. I got water. Next week, you're in for a treat. Next week, Denver Gator is going to join the show. Denver Gator is going to join the show. We're going to have a college football special next week with Denver Gator. By the way, you want to make this because he says that he has a college football game you can bet your life savings and your mortgage on. You don't want to miss Denver Gator next Friday, so make sure you join in. Man, I'm pretty excited. Actually, on right before I joined the show, I forgot the name of it, but it's a UCF Georgia Tech. Kind of cool because they're same color uniforms, so it's kind of cool. It's kind of getting a kick, trying to get caught up on college football. As you know, right after the combine, this is going to be Draft Central. Right after the combine. I will have. I don't have an exact date for my first mock draft. I'm already getting everything ramped up, but we got a really good week of football games. Corey, aka the Red Sea, is hitting me up asking for fantasy football advice. It's between Jordan Addison and Isaiah Pacheco. I believe Pacheco's a full go. So Corey, if you're watching or listening to the replay, I'm leaning towards Pacheco. I was thinking Jordan Addison. The reason why I like Jordan Addison is that you're playing Detroit, up and down defense, but Detroit's going to put up some points. So I think Addison is probably good for a touchdown. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like Detroit to win the game, but I think that you're probably looking at Addison, some yards and some points. Pacheco should have a good game. So, by the way, if you ever need any fantasy football advice, prop bets, sports bets, make sure you hit me up. You can add all my social media links are listed below. If you shoot me a friend request, I will accept it. I'm letting you know right now, you send me any pornographic material, you will be reported and blocked. I hard limit on that. So Jason says Vikings win. You know what? I would love it. I got the Lions winning, and I think the Lions win the North. And a win Sunday would lock up the North, and it's at I'm sorry. I thought I was going to say at Detroit, but I kind of think Detroit will lock it up. I really do. But to be honest, I'm all for the chaos. We win at home, lose at the Lions. I could see that. I'm all for the chaos. I want as many win and in games the final week of the year as you can get, and the more Minnesota wins makes things difficult, especially with what happened last night, which I kind of want to lead off with. The Rams look impressive. Yeah, the Rams look impressive. I still have the Saints winning that division. So I want to be very clear. I still have the Saints winning the division. They play, if I'm correct, it's Tampa Bay this week, and they end the season at Atlanta. I may have them flip-flopped. I think they win both the games. So I still have the Saints winning the South. I just think the Rams are very impressive right now. And I think that they're going to be a playoff team. And there's going to be a team, and I'm hoping it's the Detroit LA matchup, Goff, Stafford. I think it'd be great television. I'm kind of pulling for that. I don't know, man. I really like the Saints, and I'm very impressed with the Rams right now. I think the Rams are better than all four of the teams in the NFC South. Not a big statement, but I think the Saints are the best out of those teams. So, Perry, what's up, brother? Hey, Dan, I am doing fantastic, brother. I am doing fantastic. I got coffee. I got water, man. Perry, how are you doing? Merry Christmas early. Hopefully you are able to join in on Christmas Day for Chiefs Raiders. Hopefully it is wonderful weather up there in Canada. Here in the Midwest, I haven't been outside yet. So I took the whole day off. I was watching a little college football before the show, but just took a day off, just goofed off today. Laid on the couch. Jason says, I like the Raiders. Jason, come on, man. I do like the Raiders to cover. But back to Thursday night, the Rams are a team that I think will make the playoffs, and I think they're dangerous. And it kind of looks like it's going to line up to be a Lions Rams wild card. Now, keep in mind, Minnesota wins, that throws a wrench in things. So, I mean, I'm all for the chaos, and I want as many win and in games as possible. I'm kind of hoping that Minnesota, the final week, puts themselves in an opportunity to win and get in. But I don't know if that's possible. Don't know if it's possible. So, yeah, the Rams are hot. Yeah, I like Puka. You got Kupp. There's a lot of Chiefs fans that are commenting on DeMarcus Robinson. I kind of want to address that too. And DeMarcus Robinson's always done this, folks. He has like 1 or 2 games a year that he looks like he's a really good player, but he's just inconsistent. So there's a lot of Chiefs fans. Jason, I'm assuming I follow more social media, Chiefs social media than you do. Maybe not, but there are so many Chiefs fans commenting about DeMarcus Robinson, and he did this in Kansas City. He did this. I think he was with New England. He was in Baltimore. He was with the Raiders. He would do this. He would have a game or two. He'd be really, really good. But he's just, yeah. I think what's going to happen is you're going to see a Detroit LA matchup, and it's a lot of fun. It'll be a lot of fun. Williams is good, yeah. They compared him to Christian McCaffrey during the game, and at first I kind of bristled at it, but then I started watching him play, and it's like he kind of reminds me a little bit of McCaffrey, not quite as good, but he reminded me a little bit of McCaffrey, and the offensive line's not bad. It's really got me wondering, with as many rookies as on this team and the 3-6 start. Do you bring Sean McVay up as coach of the year? And I think you have to put him in the conversation. So I don't know. No, he's not. But they kept on bringing him up. And at first I bristled at, and I'm like, I could see that. There's some similarities. It's like diet CMC. Oh God, maybe. Should put some cream. So normally I just drink black coffee, but since it was my day off, I had some creamer, and I'm wishing I put some creamer in this. Normally I love black coffee. Not feeling it today. Took a day off, just ate a bunch of junk food today. My stomach is feeling it. All I did was eat cookies and chocolate today. All right, I'm going to go over all the games, and I'm going to give you the up to the minute. Right before I came on, all the numbers are from DraftKings. So if there's a different website that you want to use, I have accounts with almost all of them. I don't have one on ESPN Bets yet. I had one on Barstool. The accounts hasn't switched over. Actually went to Hollywood Casino, which has an ESPN Bets. It's like 15 minutes from here. I like doing the bets in person. I just kind of went to check it out. It's under some construction, so I'm thinking at the beginning of the year it's going to be awesome. But I don't have an account set up with them, but I can access that. But all the numbers are from DraftKings. Your team keeps dropping the ball. Come on, listen, I know, but Christmas Day at home, yeah. Oh, my God, you know the deal. Welcome, brother. Leon, oh, my God, a Leon Lett reference. Leon Lett, revenge game, Dolphins late turnover, leads to Cowboys victory on Christmas Eve. Hashtag bold pick. I love it. I love it. Leon Lett. Really, really, really good player. No players had like more like big moments in NFL history than Leon Lett. I mean, big Leon Lett fan. It kind of sucks because he was a really good player. I mean, not a Hall of Fame player, but I mean he's a really good player. But you know what? I do like Dallas. I do like Dallas. Jason agrees. Jason finally is agreeing with me. I think he's just messing with me here, but yeah, I like Dallas too. But it's going to be a fun game. That's going to be a fun game. It's the best game on Sunday. Best game on Sunday, Dallas, Miami. Easy. I think easily the best game on Sunday. I mean, you can, depends on who you're a fan of, but oh man, oh no. I got the talent. Gooch! Who's that I see? Gooch! The talent. The B. The beginning. The great one. Does anybody call? You know what they should call? Can I start it? Calling Gooch the great one? Can I get that going? By the way, I'm sorry I was not able to contribute on Wednesday. I need to shoot Keys a text. Wednesday ended up being extremely chaotic. If you're not a fan of the Backtalk Brothers, you need to be. It's some good stuff. I like the Jets. You know, I don't hate the Jets. Simeon starting. It's going to be a weird game. There's not a lot of action on this. They're a 3-point dog at home, which is weird. Yeah, the great one. I'm liking the great one. He's remembered more for when the Bills player knocked the ball out of his hands at the Don Beebe. Yeah, Don Beebe knocked the ball out of his hands at the 1-yard line. The Thanksgiving Day fumble that cost the Cowboys the win. A lot of people don't remember this, but Don Beebe was the player, and he was part of all 4 of Buffalo's losses. In '96, he was I don't even know if he played. I think he was on. I think he was the guy at the very back. When you kneel down, I think he was the player at the very back. When the Packers won the Super Bowl, but he was part of that Packers team, the '96 Packers team. It was Don Beebe. Jim McMahon was part of that team. So was Doug Peterson. So the greatest hustle. Yeah, I love Don Beebe. Love Don Beebe. Greatest hustle play of all time. First game I'm going to bring up, Cincinnati at Pittsburgh. The line opened up at Pittsburgh as a 2.5-point home dog. It's now at 3. I like Mason Rudolph. I do not understand. This is a guy I absolutely loved coming out of Oklahoma State. 4-year starter, set like every single passing record. He had a game against Oklahoma. It was actually, that game actually iced the Heisman for Baker Mayfield. He threw for like over 508 touchdowns. But he was throwing NFL caliber wide receivers. Mason Rudolph threw for 400 and like 7 touchdowns. By the way, in the Big 12, there's 49 games in the Big 12. And that game won Baker Mayfield the Heisman. But Mason Rudolph really impressed me more because he was playing with guys that weren't going to the NFL, or Baker Mayfield like had an offensive line, like 2 or 3 of those guys are in the NFL. I know it's Hollywood Brown. CD Lamb may have been on that team as well. And I was more impressed with Mason Rudolph, and I really thought Mason Rudolph would have a better career in the NFL. As of right now, he hasn't. But, I mean, I like his size, his mobility. I like the arm talent. I don't know why things haven't worked out for him in Pittsburgh. I don't understand why they had to bring in Trubisky, but he's going to get a chance. I like Cincinnati. I'm going to level with you guys. I think Pittsburgh is just kind of falling apart, and it's kind of a shame. Kind of a shame because I love Mike Tomlin. I love Mike Tomlin. There's a guy I know hasn't contributed to the show, but I know he subscribed. Real good guy. Great name. His name's Dan. Steelers fan. I ran into him. He's like, I don't want to talk about it. And I'm like, look, man, you may want to be looking at the draft, which is hard to believe a couple weeks ago, but Steelers probably are looking more towards the draft. So Ravens and 49ers best game of the week. I got 49ers by 3. That's interesting because it is the best game of the week. It's on Monday. So that's why I said Dallas and Miami best game on Sunday. Baltimore, San Francisco's game of the week. It's on Monday. And how'd you get 3? Did you buy points, Jason, or did you find a site? Because I got it open at 5.5 at 6, and I'm going to go in order. So I'm going to come back to it. But I got 6. So how'd you get 3? Did you? I'm not. By the way, like if I'm coming across like. I'm just asking if you bought points. I don't recommend it, but if you wanted to get 3, I don't blame you. But if you found somewhere that you got 3, that's very interesting. So Bengals will whoop Steelers' ass. I think so too. It's in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh won in Cincinnati earlier, but yeah. Denver Gator! Okay, everyone, all at once, go Chiefs! Denver Gator, we have to work on your spelling. By the way, I'm very, 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 very much looking forward to you joining next week. We'll be talking Florida State leaving the ACC. Where will they go? Where will they go? We're going to work on that spelling. It's Chiefs, I mean, come on. I mean, you weren't even close. Denver Gators, my boy, man. I like Commanders. Jasmine Gray. Welcome, Jasmine. I don't, there was this, I can't tell if you're a guy or a girl. I knew a girl named Jasmine, had a big crush on her at the gym. I was really mad. And it's funny because it was one of my New Year's resolutions because like, she worked at the gym that I used to go to, and I used to go late at night. So like we were like the only ones there, and she would talk to me and stuff. I never pulled the trigger, and that's a lesson to men out there. Like pull the trigger. It's actually funny. There's this girl I asked out, and she said no. And then she's been kind of like angry at me. I was like, "What the fuck are you mad at me for?" You said no, but it doesn't matter. But like pull the trigger. That's the point. But by the way, if you're a dude, I'm not trying to call you a chick. Just I remember the Jasmine name. It was a New Year's resolution a couple years ago. I said, "Look, if I like a girl, I'm gonna ask her out." And Jasmine just a little caffeinated. I had an energy drink about 2 hours ago. It's kicking in now. Jasmine says, I like the Commanders this week. Give me my Commanders will win this game and bounce back -3. Yeah. They that line's not moved. And it's kind of weird because I don't know how the Jets are going to react with Simeon at quarterback. I'm leaning towards Washington, but it's just hard. It's really hard to cheer for either one of these teams. And I think the thing is with Washington, which bugs me, is that you can almost see the lame duck status. Riviera is probably not going to come back. And, I think the Jets are going to, they're kind of like, hey, look, 2024, we're going to get Rodgers and we're just going to dominate. And that's kind of what they're thinking. So it'll be really interesting. I'm actually really excited about that game, to tell you the truth. I'm actually really excited. I get why you did it. I never recommend. I don't recommend it as a general thumb. But I get why. I get why you got 3. By the way, I am pulling for you. I'm pulling for you, Jason. It would be a good Christmas present. Hopefully you didn't pay a lot, but I get it. Broncos are doing good with Sean at head coach. Yeah, they are. I did not think it would work. It's worked. He's done a fantastic job. The Broncos are really – it wouldn't – seriously, I mean, I hate to say it, but it wouldn't surprise me if the Broncos win the AFC West next year. It would not surprise me. Chiefs have some tough things to overcome, and I like what Denver's doing. That said, it wouldn't surprise me if they go quarterback in the first round in the draft. And I don't think that they're going to make the playoffs this year, but it wouldn't surprise me if they win the West next year. Bonk! Bonk! Let's go Broncos. Yeah. Nobody. Here's the thing, Denver Gator. Nobody really wants the Broncos to win. I'm going to level with you, though. I love the idea of New England picking second in the draft. I really would love to see it. We don't want the Commanders to lose to the Jets this week. I get that. But, I mean, it's going to be a weird game. I'm actually really excited to watch that game because I want to see what Ron Rivera can do, because Ron Rivera, I don't think is coaching for a job this year. I think he's coaching for a head coaching job this offseason. I know the Chargers had a defensive coach. Usually you flip-flop, but a guy like Ron Rivera would kind of make sense with the Chargers, but his gambling aggressiveness is very similar. Great, 22 minutes into the show, I forgot the Chargers fired coach name. But anyway, yeah. I already forgot his name. Brandon, Staley. Anyway. All right, sorry about that. Brain freeze. He's a lot like Staley, so I get why they meet, but it also makes sense, you know, instead of an inexperienced guy, get an experienced guy, because there's talent on my team. I got you, DG. It's my second favorite AFC West team. Sorry, I still have a Raiders addiction. I get it. It's kind of weird because Funk is really pulling for the Chiefs this week. So Funk's pulling for the Chiefs on Christmas. Funk, I'd love nothing more than to see you in the chat Christmas Day. Love nothing more. Cheering for my Chiefs, of course. I didn't know that. Well, you know, so the picture on your thumbnail, I always assumed that was you. And the picture looks really, really young. So I always assumed it was you. So I just kind of assumed like you're 20 something. I know One Pride, I always thought he was older. It turns out he's like 24, 25. So. Yeah. Hopefully the Pats pick a card in second. Give me my Commanders. Man, we need more Commanders fans this year. I'm pulling for you, man. No, he's not. Last time I pulled for the Chiefs to win, Alex Smith. It's kind of funny because DeMarcus Robinson's been on Chiefs social media after the good game he had. So like all day today was on social media. Like, why isn't he with the Chiefs? Why isn't he? So he was drafted in the 4th round. Tyreek Hill was drafted in the 5th round. And both these guys were brought in to help out Alex Smith in the receiving corps. I don't know, and you probably don't need to know that, but DeMarcus Robinson's been a popular name among Chiefs social media today. So yeah, decent game. He did that with Kansas City too. How do you feel about the head coach for Commanders leaving? I think it's going to happen. I mean, it has to. I mean, you have a new ownership group in. He's both the head coach and GM. Normally, here's the deal. If he wasn't the GM, he might have a chance. But being that he's the head coach and general manager, I think you have to move on. I kind of expect Washington to make a big splash with a big name. That's kind of what I'm expecting. I don't know who. I'll be honest. I don't know who. But yeah, I think that he'll move on, and Ron Rivera will be an interesting candidate. I think he'll be an interesting hire. You know, I think I'll throw out a team. I'll throw out. Why not him going back to Carolina? I know it sounds a little crazy, but why not? It's happened before. And I'm drawing a blank, but I know a coach went back after some time away and had some success. And I'm drawing a blank on who, but it doesn't happen often. But, Ron Rivera, I never feel bad for a guy leaving A head coach getting fired. I feel bad for the assistants and guys that you don't know. But I don't feel bad for a 7-figure guy leaving who's going to get at least a 6-figure job. Ron Rivera will get another job. He'll get another job. But, yeah, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's just a matter of time. I fully expect he'll be one of the first names on Black Monday. I'll be live Black Monday, by the way. I'll go over all the head coaching firings, and Ron Rivera will be one of them. And depending on who they get, because I could easily see because they have some extra draft picks. Remember, they have an extra second and a third. I could easily see them making a move up in the draft. I don't have it pulled up, but I think they pick 6 as of right now. We'll find out. Kevin, I'm late, but 12-4. Wow. I was not nearly that good. I did not have a good week, but so far I'm 1-1. I'm going to have a good week this week. Soon the Pats will go back to the joke. Yeah, I know. For those of you that don't remember, but like before Bill Belichick took over, they were just terrible. Remember, they drafted Bledsoe #1 overall. They had another really high draft pick as well before Bledsoe, and then after Bledsoe, remember they were 5-11, and Belichick was about ready to get fired before Mo Lewis bruised Drew Bledsoe's lung. I felt bad for Bledsoe because he was really a good quarterback, and just not as good as Brady, and later on not as good as Tony Romo. So, yeah. Ron Rivera, I don't think would be a good. I think that if Bill Belichick leaves, I think that they'll promote from within. And I'm looking at Jared Mayo, who's one of the co-defensive coordinators or linebackers coach. It's kind of weird because Steven Belichick and Jared Mayo are kind of like co-defensive coordinators. I could see Mayo. I've heard some stuff about Mike Vrabel and a possible trade. It'll be interesting. Steelers. Ooh. Well, a lot of people feel like Tomlin's time has come. I don't feel that way. I don't, but I've seen weirder things. I've seen weirder things. I remember Marty Schottenheimer went 14-2 and got fired. I mean, that's hard to do. Go 14-2 and get fired. That's what happened to Marty Schottenheimer. But I would be really shocked if Tomlin was a name that we hear Black Monday, but you never know. There's always one job opening on that just comes out of blue. It could be a Steelers. It really could. This season has proved anything can happen. Yeah, Bobby Petrino. Oh my God. And you know what, Denver Gator, if you remember, because I kind of forgot about it, but Bobby Petrino, for those of you that don't know, he had a volleyball player as a 6-figure intern that he was messing around with. And they were riding a motorcycle and they got in a wreck. And you remember this, right? It was a big scandal because she was making as an intern $150,000 a year or something like that. I mean, good looking girl. Bobby Petrino, being the pimp that he is, 50 something, married, but hey, he's got a 6-figure play toy. I remember she was either a volleyball player or a volleyball grad assistant, but she was making 6 figures from Arkansas. Oh God, yeah, but Bobby Petrino, they brought him back. Yeah. So yeah. Dan, did you see the Lions could be the first team to have 2 1,000-yard rushers and 2 1,000-yard? No, I didn't. I did not see that. And that's really amazing. I mean, lots of teams have had 2 1,000-yard receivers, but there's only been a handful of teams that have 2 1,000-yard rushers. The only one I could think of off the top of my head was I remember before mentioned Marty Schottenheimer. They had Ernest Biner and Kevin Mack, but I mean, I'm drawing a blank on it. I remember it happened before. I mean, Franco Harris, Rocky Blyer. And I think it was the 78 or 79 Steelers. And then losing my voice already. Well, it's going to be a short show from 30 minutes in, losing my voice, but it doesn't happen often. I had no idea that they were close to getting 1,000-yard rushers. That's very impressive. It's very impressive. Yeah, Kevin, I don't think he's going anywhere, but Jason, I think you're right. I think that it'll be one more year. And Perry's 100% correct. Yeah. So here's the real story, Perry. I'm going to go down a rabbit hole here. Here's the story. So he brought his brother on to be the defensive coordinator, and that violated team rules because it was like either a nepotism thing or the GM had to hire the defensive coordinator. Marty Schottenheimer didn't have the authority to do so. So by hiring his own defensive coordinator, that voided the contract. But the thing is, though, is that it came off a 14-2 season. I did a video. I don't have it in the description below, but top 10 teams that never go to a Super Bowl, and that 14-2 Chargers team is one of them. One of the greatest teams in NFL history. And what you remember about that year is LaDainian Tomlinson setting the scoring record, NFL MVP, 31 touchdowns. They lost to the Patriots, who won the Super Bowl. And in the game, late in the game, Brady throws an interception, and the guy was running it back. And Troy Brown, who also played defensive back, he played receiver on this play, strips the ball from the defensive back, recovers it, gets, instead of it being a turnover, it's a double turnover. And they go on to win the game. But if the defensive back just goes down after the interception, and there's a clip somewhere where Marty Schottenheimer is telling that guy, hey, when you get the game-winning interception, just go down. So, like, people want to blame Marty. It's like he even told the guy to go down. But yeah, you're right. You're right. And by the way, Jason, here's what I think is going to happen. I think Tomlin's going to come back, and I think next year will be his last year. And I don't think Pittsburgh's going to do well, because there's some problems with that team. But, I think he'll get one more year. I really do. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Speaking of Chargers, my upset, I have several upsets, but this is a big one. Buffalo at the Chargers. The line went from 10.5 to 12.5. Somebody commented on my picks video, if you had $500 to bet on the game, what would you do? Which game would you take? And I said, you may be able to get the Chargers in 13 points. And I really like it because you get a massive home dog. You have Buffalo coming off of the win against the Chiefs, and then they demolished Dallas at home. I don't know how many of you guys know this, but Buffalo to LA is a long, long, long flight. And you got a team that just fired its head coach. Keenan Allen isn't playing. Easton Stick. By the way, he didn't play bad against the Raiders. I mean, he really didn't. It was just, I've never seen a team play that lazy on defense. I think that might be a good game. And I told him, I said, I don't like any of these games, but if you had to pick one, if you can find Chargers in 13, put 500 down on Chargers in 13. That's my upset pick. I actually like the Chargers to win outright, to tell you the truth. And somebody also commented, I was smoking crack, which, you get that stuff on the internet. For those of you, any of you that do YouTube, I've ever created a YouTube channel. I've done it for any extensive time. You get things like this. It's cool. I like the engagement. But and I try to explain the logic behind it. He didn't respond. But think about it. You beat Kansas City. You destroy Dallas. You travel from Buffalo to LA. I think it's over 2,500 miles. It's a long flight. And you're playing a team just fired its coach with very little to lose. I know LA is not, I'll be honest, we're probably going to be more Bills fans than Chargers fans there, but still, cover 13, yeah. Problems with the Steelers is the GM not picking the right talent or the coach is not developing talent. Could be both things. Well, so they traded up in the draft for Broderick Jones, okay? And I love the trade. Then for some reason they don't want to start him, and they put him on the right side. But when he played on the left side, I've watched a lot of football, Perry. I don't remember which game it was, but I watched the whole game, and I'm like, that's a Pro Bowl caliber left tackle. Why aren't you playing him? And then what I kept saying, well, Steelers want to develop their rookies. That's an old school thing that you know, if you got a guy that can play, let him play, let him learn, and then that left tackle they got, Dan Moore, is not better than Broderick Jones. He's just not. And the fact that they also took their time with Joey Porter Jr., they should just, throw him out there. Let him learn on the fly. And I think it cost them some opportunities. I really do. Because I think if these guys were full-time starters, they would have won one of those games, against either Arizona or New England. They've had some good drafts. I like Pickett. There's a lot of people that don't, but I mean, look at the offensive coordinators he's had. Look at the bad offensive line. And by the way, this is a great draft for the Steelers because I would go offensive line or wide receiver in this draft if I'm Pittsburgh. And if you're not picking, if you don't go to the playoffs, and I don't think they will, that's what I would do in the draft: offensive line again or wide receiver. But I'm kind of interested to see what Pittsburgh does this offseason. And most important, what they do at offensive coordinator. But, there's a chance Pittsburgh may move on Black Monday. We'll talk about it. Because I'm not going to lie to you, to be honest with you, because I gave some surprises here as my teams ranked. I would rank the 3 teams that are available right now. I think the Raiders is the best job. I really do. And I think Antonio Pierce will get it. Okay. I think Antonio Pierce will stay there. But I think the Raiders is the best job. I think the Panthers is second best. And I think Chargers is the third best. If Pittsburgh's available, it would be third or fourth. It's not really a great position. You have some salary cap issues. You have some age. You have issues at offensive line. And then Pickett's a question mark, but you have a first-round pick that you used on him, so he's kind of got to go and be your starter. I don't know how – and that AFC North is brutal, man. It's brutal. Going into next year, you're gonna have that defense with Deshaun Watson. You're going to have Joe Burrow coming. I'm assuming he's going to come back. And now keep in mind, I fully expect the Bengals to move on from Lou Anarumo, the defensive coordinator. When I say that's a bad choice of word, but Lou Anarumo will take over. He'll get a head coaching job. He should have got one this year. And you still got Baltimore. I mean, whoever takes over that franchise, it's the 4th best team in that division going into 2024. After our Commander season is over, Commanders will get Mike Tomlin's new head coach and get rid of. That makes a lot of. Seriously, if that would be a great hire. And here's the issue: who do you bring in as a general manager? Is it somebody from that Pittsburgh organization? Because if so, I like that move. Then the number one question that you do if you're Tomlin is how do you feel about Sam Howell? More than likely, you have to be on the same page, and this is really important because I really think what Washington wants to do is I really think they want to go after Caleb Williams. And I don't know if you live in the area or not, but Caleb Williams is from D.C. And get a hometown kid who Mel Kiper Jr., and by the way, there's a lot of people that don't like him. I understand that if you're not a fan, but if you're going to tell me he doesn't know his stuff, I'm not going to listen to that. You don't have to like him. He knows the draft. His number one player is Caleb Williams. I'm not a fan of Caleb Williams myself, okay? I want to be very clear, but there's a lot of people that have Caleb Williams as the number one pick in the draft. He's from D.C. So if you bring in Tomlin, do you bring in Tomlin and you tell him, like, hey, you got to run with a rookie quarterback. Can you do it? Well, he did with Pickett. So you got to be on the same page. Or if you're Tomlin, you give him an opportunity with Sam Howell and use these other draft picks to fix up this team. And that's going to be very interesting because I can see both things happening. But Tomlin in Washington, I don't hate that. I really don't hate that. Barry says, I'm not high on Pickett, but the Steelers think he is the guy. Yeah, and my boy Keith said it. He thinks Eric Bieniemy of the Steelers would be the perfect guy. And to be honest, it makes a lot of sense. You have two good running backs in Pittsburgh. You have a guy, former NFL running back in Eric Bieniemy. I think that would make a lot of sense. I think Eric Bieniemy in Pittsburgh makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Well, don't forget, you have 2 picks in the second round. You have 2 picks in the third round. You're going to have a high number 1. The number 1 question going into the offseason is Sam Howell your guy going forward? Because if he is, you can get very creative in the draft. And if I'm Washington, I probably trade down. That said, you may be able to get a stud. I think you pick at 6 the way things are right now. Joe Alt, if he's available, I would take that in a heartbeat. Fassanu, the left tackle out of Penn State, that's another guy I would also take in a heartbeat right there, depending on how you rate him. I've been watching a little bit of Joe Alt, just a little bit. Joe Alt is quickly becoming my offensive tackle number 1. And by the way, it was funny. Denver Gator joked around about it, but I think if New England picks number 2, I could actually see them taking Joe Alt number 2. Funk has a great comment here. Caleb Williams gives me Ryan Leaf vibes. All the talent, 0. Yeah, I get the same feeling. By the way, I absolutely love Ryan Leaf on social media. I'm like his struggle with drug addiction and what he's doing now, and him on TV. By the way, Ryan Leaf on TV is amazing. YouTube, TV, Twitter. He did like a college basketball game. I'm a big Ryan Leaf fan, but as a player, I get it because I liked him more than Manning. I mean, he had these giant hands. The ball jumped out. More athletic than you think. Like a lot of people, if you looked at Ryan Leaf, you saw 6'5", 240. He wasn't a statue. He actually had some scrambling ability. You know, he wasn't a runner, but like he could move in the pocket. But I'm not on Caleb Williams at all. Williams is a Kyler Murray type with weak mentally, he can handle the tough times. That's kind of what I'm seeing. You know, I mean, I really see the same thing. Is that I just don't see a guy that I remember like the Utah game. He was on the sideline and he was just sulking after the game. And then it was the game against Washington. He was in the stands crying with mommy. And dude, if that's how you handle losses, you're in for a tough ride in the NFL. Even Tom Brady lost games. I'll be honest with you. If I haven't looked at Drake Moy. Bo Nix is a guy that's interesting. I like the size. I like his mentality. Arm talent's good. I remember at Auburn, he actually reminded me of Tim Tebow at Auburn. He was a big running guy, but I didn't think passing was really a strength. And that kind of, I mean, would you, you know, and by the way, a lot of talent there at Oregon. So Penix, kid out Washington, I think he's got a hitch in his throwing motion that really he's got to fix. I'm convinced that there's a hitch in his throwing motion I don't like. And then Jaden Daniels, the Heisman winner, I don't care what he weighs at the combine. He doesn't weigh 200 pounds, and he'll need to put on, you know, the NFL 20, and that's going to be an issue. To his younger brother's a guy that I think may surprise people. But yeah. Leaf had the talent. He was just a mess up mentally. Yeah. Yeah, he'll tell you that. Yeah, you didn't have it all together. It's a damn shame. Plus, Caleb said whoever drafts him, he's going to want part of the ownership. I never heard that, but if that's the case, that's really going to hurt him because he's probably not going to get that. Maybe in Washington where he's it could be a draft ploy that happened. I haven't heard that personally, Funk. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm just saying I haven't heard it. It could just be a ploy. It could be an issue because he wants to go back home to DC, and it makes a lot of sense. Bo Nix, his freshman year, I think it was like 50 or 55% throwing, and then he constantly got better. But yeah, I mean, Bo Nix is a guy that I would love to see a team take him late in the first round and have him sit, but I say that about every NFL quarterback. I really think the best way to bring along an NFL quarterback is to have him sit. People are kind of sick of me talking about the Lions, but like I have Hendon Hooker rated higher, significantly higher than Bo Nix, even though Hendon Hooker was coming off of an injury. I feel a lot more confident in Hendon Hooker than I would with somebody like Bo Nix. But if I'm a team picking late, and you can get back into the first round, and I'm thinking specifically New England. Like if New England can jump back in the late 20s and pick up Bo Nix, that would make sense. But yeah, I'm Bo Nix. I really like to see him sit. And plays like New England, he may start. I mean, you never know. College players getting paid is not good for football. Guys are not. Yeah, I'm not. The way things are going, it's got to change. The NIL money, this whole situation, and then that college football over the next couple of years is going to be drastically different than what it is now. I think the NIL money is going to get capped. I think it'll be a salary cap. It'll be like a team salary cap. And each team university can only spend like certain amount. It's kind of funny because players have always gotten paid. It's just now it's just now in the open. It's just now in the open. But it's going to change. The thing is that I think guys are hungry to be successful because they're getting paid, Perry. I think the problem is you got players that are just bouncing from team to team because instead of waiting 2 or 3 years and getting your opportunity to start, you can say, hey, look, I want to transfer and get paid and I can play. And you're seeing the college portals just blowing up. I mean, players are just instantly leaving. One of the trends that it's going to continue to grow, by the way, is players sitting out of bowl games, which I hate, but that's just part of it. I mean, and to be honest, almost universally, all the players that have been like number 1 draft picks or first round draft picks that have sat out, it's almost been beneficial to every single one of those guys that sit out. There's been a lot of guys that have been questionable, have gotten injured. So you want to hear something a little crazy about the NIL? Brock Purdy makes $857K and is possibly going to win MVP by Arch Manning. Yeah. I heard something about Arch Manning is not allowed to accept NIL money, and that was something from his family, but it wouldn't surprise me if he does make $3 million. The one thing I can safely say about Arch Manning is that he is not going to struggle for money in his life. Hatter's House 710. Go Lions, 1 win away from our first division title in 30 years. It's going to feel. Yeah, I do like the Lions to win. I think they win the division. I really do. Oh yeah. David Ojabo. No, was it? No, he got injured at the pro day. David Ojabo from Michigan got injured at the pro day. Andrew Voorhees, the USC. Would have been a second round pick, easy. Ravens got him in the 6th, probably be next year starter at right tackle. There's been a few instances of players getting hurt at the combine. Yeah. And same thing with pro days. I mentioned David Ojabo and Andrew Voorhees, but there's been instances of that happening. Yeah, it sucks. It happens. It's part of the game. Part of the game. It happens. Next game, Seattle at Tennessee. Tennessee was a 2.5-point favorite. Now they're a 3.5-point favorite. And I get it. After Seattle winning, there's a little more hype. But you have a West Coast team going to Tennessee for an early game, going to the East Coast for an early game. I'd be cautious about this. If you're one of those people that bet on Seattle, I'd be very careful. But actions, people like Seattle. It's full point change. Washington at New York. New York stayed at a 3-point home dog. Questions at quarterback. It's going to be Trevor Siemian. I'm actually really looking forward to this game because I really want to see how Washington pans out. Because I think if New York beats Washington bad, Riviera could be gone almost instantly. And then Washington is going to make a move, but I want to see how I kind of want to see how Washington responds to this. I really want to. It's going to be an interesting game. Indianapolis at Atlanta. Atlanta's a 2.5-point home dog. It stayed that way. I was really disappointed in Atlanta not beating Carolina. They had an opportunity to make the postseason or put themselves in a better position to make the postseason. Keep in mind with the Saints losing, and they played the Saints I believe they played the Saints last week of the season. I know they play the Saints again. I'm pretty sure it's the last game of the season. They can really lose this game the way everything works out and still, but I've been telling people Indianapolis is a team I think a lot of people are sleeping on, but this is a team, they got some really good defensive players. They're going to have both Zach Moss and Jonathan Taylor healthy in the playoffs, and they got some good players at receiver. I like Minshew. It's going to be. I don't know if they make the playoffs, but I think they will, and there'll be a team that's good. That's kind of an interesting team. The line hasn't moved on this game. The next game, Green Bay at Carolina. I'm really surprised action hasn't gone towards Green Bay. I'm a little surprised about this. I really thought that Green Bay, people would start betting on Green Bay to win this game. And by the way, I think Green Bay does win. And I'm pretty sure. I think of my pick video, which by the way, I have the link to it below. Make sure you watch it. If you don't watch my NFL Week 16 picks video, you'll get coal in your stocking. That's just science. Hey, Funk, did we get a playoff berth yet? You do if you win. You lock it up if you win. So the combine should be gone. The drills they do. So I disagree with this, and I'll tell you why. Players get hurt. It just happens. That's part of it. I mean, you will get hurt playing football, and you're going to get injuries. But I mean, here's the thing with the combine. 99+% go through just perfectly fine. But yeah. If you win, you get it. Next game, Cleveland at Houston. Houston opened at a 2.5-point favorite. They're now a 3-point home dog. The reason why is CJ Stroud is not going to play. I kind of just went through this real fast, and then I just double checked. Yeah, but the CJ Stroud. So Case Keenum, I believe, will get the start. Let me double check here. I'm 90% sure it's Case Keenum is going to get the start, but a really, really good game last week by Case Keenum. Really, really good game by Case Keenum. So, but just a couple hours ago. So. By the way, okay, so apparently Keenum didn't practice this week either. So, but Keenum's going to get started. Didn't practice, no big deal. He's going to start. They better be. They better be. Sorry, I had the wrong thing closed here. Detroit at Minnesota. Minnesota's a 3-point home dog. The line's not changed on this game. My phone is charged. Can't with can. Phone is charged. Can't with. I don't know what you're trying to say. I'm kind of surprised more people didn't bet on this game, but I do like Detroit to win, and I think Detroit wins the NFC North. Funk says, Perry, if we win one more game or Minnesota loses one more game, we win the North and get a home game. If we lose out or the Seahawks or Rams lose, we get lose one, we get a wild card. If we miss it, it'll be an epic. Yeah, it will be. It will be. I think you lock it up. I really think you lock it up. And if you watch my video, I crowned the Lions king of the North. I love crown and everything. But yeah, I fully expect the Lions to win. The offense looked a little better with Mullins, but that fourth quarter collapse, that's a tough one to overcome. I get it. You're at home, fighting for the playoffs. It's a divisional game. I would be really surprised if Minnesota wins this game. I'm glad you did, man. I'm glad you like it. Oh, okay. I get it. Yeah. I have the same problem with my phone. Yeah. But I fully expect, I fully expect the Lions to win the NFC North. It's going to be fun. Next up, Jacksonville at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay opened up as a 1-point dog. They're now 1.5-point favorite. Trevor Lawrence is still in concussion protocol. It really is a coin flip if he will play or not play. I think if he plays, I think Jacksonville wins. I think if he doesn't play, I think they lose. Big advantage for Tampa Bay because they basically, if Tampa Bay wins out, they go to the playoffs and they'll host whoever doesn't win the NFC East. More than likely, they lose that game. But you never know. I mean, you really never know. And I've seen weirder things happen, but big advantage for Tampa Bay this week. I want to see Trevor Lawrence play. It's very important. So I agree completely. Perry nails it. He goes, the Bucs should win if T-Law is out. Absolutely. Arizona at Chicago. Chicago is a 4-point favorite. They've stayed at a 4-point favorite. Kind of curious. I think it's going to be a fun game. I mean, to tell you the truth, Kyler Murray, Justin Fields playing for his job. Bears defense has been playing really good. The Montez Sweat trade actually looks like it's a pretty good trade for them. They drafted some defensive tackles. They're gonna pick twice in the first round, and looks like they may have the number 1 pick overall. So if Justin Fields plays well, he keeps that job. I do think Jim Harbaugh. I get him confused sometimes. I do think Jim Harbaugh is going to be the next head coach of the Chicago Bears. I think it's going to happen this year. I really do. We'll see. But the Bears have been playing good, so I mean it's kind of hard to fire a coach when he's winning. But we'll see what happens. The game of Sunday, not the game of the week, but the best game Sunday, Dallas at Miami. Miami's opened at 1.5-point favorite. They stayed at 1.5. I like Dallas. I'm kind of surprised that the line hasn't bounced down. Tyreek Hill is probably going to play. I think he's a little banged up. Dallas, I know they're not the same on the road, but they're just the better team. I said the same exact thing last week, but I after being blown out, I don't see. I think they just They had a flat game on the road. I don't see it back-to-back weeks. I really don't. I'm not that impressed with Miami. Keys was on Tuesday, and he thinks Miami lose out. So he's banged up. I believe Kyler Murray is going to play. You're talking about Cardinals and Bears. I do believe Murray is going to play. If this was in Dallas, so here's the deal. If this game was in Dallas, the Cowboys would probably be a 3-point favorite. Probably be a 3-point favorite because it's in Miami. To be honest with you, if this game was in Dallas, Dallas might be a 4-point favorite. Maybe even high, maybe even 5, but keep on going up and going from 3 to 4 to 5. Let's see how high it can count. But I do like Dallas to win. I really do. I think they're the better team. The guy who put the comment in about the $500, maybe I should have told him Dallas instead of the Chargers covering 13. But by the way, you can find Chargers to cover 13 somewhere. I'm sure you can. DraftKings says 12.5. So. If you're not into sports betting, this line change may not seem like that big of a deal, but it actually is. New England at Denver. Denver opened up as a 6.5-point favorite. They're now 7.5, and 6.5 to 7.5 may not seem like that big of a deal, but 7 touchdown is kind of a magic number. And for a team to go from under a touchdown to over a touchdown is a big deal. For a line to change like this, and we're going to talk about line change here in just a little bit, but a lot of money had to be bet on Denver. That's one of my upset picks. I like the Patriots in an upset, just having some fun. Denver Gator also bet thousands of dollars on New England to win. So next up on Christmas Day, the game I will be doing live. Hopefully you will all join me on Christmas Day. Las Vegas at Kansas City. Kansas City is a 10-point favorite. I was convinced the line would drop. It has not. It stayed at 10. If Denver loses against the Patriots, the Chiefs with a win will lock up the AFC West for the 8th straight year. Some people are saying that they win even if Denver wins. I don't think that's true, but I could be wrong. But I think Kansas City wins. I think the Raiders cover 10. I'll be honest with you. I feel pretty good about the Raiders covering 10, but yeah. I think the Cowboys players get you wrapped up in their hype when they're – yeah, I do too, man. I'll be streaming 5 minutes before the game starts. It's a noon game, Perry, so I'm not sure what time zone you're in, but it's Central Time 12. So whatever time zone that you're in, but Central Time, it's at noon. So Christmas Day at noon, I will be live. So I come on about 5 minutes early. My buddy Tim's been suggesting that I come on earlier and do kind of like a red zone matchup. I'll stay on maybe a little later, but I'll be on. I'm setting the live. I don't have the live stream set up, Perry, so I apologize. But I'll set it up for 11:55. I come on 5 minutes early, but hopefully you can make it. Your Mountain Time, okay. So it'll be 10:55. 10:55. Yeah, you're near. I know. I got to visit Vancouver one of these days. Yeah, I know you're somewhere near the vicinity of Vancouver. And where you're at, there's probably like beautiful women everywhere. There's a couple content creators that are from Vancouver, and they're both beautiful. They're beautiful, beautiful girls. Beautiful girls. So I don't follow them because they're beautiful girls. I follow them because they have fantastic content, and they're content creators. One has an Instagram class. It took the free class on Nicole Wong. If you want to blow up on Instagram, that you got to follow her. And then a lady, Sunny Lenarduzzi, she's changed everything. Now she does like online course content. So you're 6 hours from the great. I don't know what that is. Oh, okay. Wow. You're not even close to Vancouver. Okay. What is the Great Falls? I don't know what that is. I feel bad because it sounds like something I should know. Vancouver's on my bucket list. I'm thinking, God, you're not north of Vancouver, are you? Oh, wow. But mountain time, yes, you're 1 hour behind me. Yeah, so it'll be your time 10:55. Oh, okay. Never been to Montana. I had an old buddy of mine years ago from Montana. He moved back there. God, that's a long story too. I reached out to him. Mutual friend gave me his number. Like, y'all give him a call. He never heard back. I don't blame him because, like, anyway, it's kind of a crazy story. But anyway, he moved back to Montana. I called him MGS. It stands for McMillan Gun Show because he was just giant dude. And we used to work out together. And he had a problem with his chest. So even though he was like 250, he would only bench press like at max was like 150 or 175. But I called him, his arms, he wore a tank top. His arms were like this fucking wide. It was insane. Really good guy. Got divorced, fell apart completely. That's probably why I didn't hear from him because like when he fell apart, like I kind of knew him when he was like going that downward slide. So I had to kind of cut ties with him. He was kind of out of control, but anyway, things happen. But I heard from a mutual friend that got married, moved back to Montana. Like I said, didn't call back, but I don't blame him. Kind of went through a rough patch, but yeah, I got an idea where we're at. One of these days I'm going to Vancouver. I will tell you that. The biggest line jump of the week, and I'm really surprised about this, is New York at Philly. Philly opened up as a 10.5 point favorite. They're now 13.5. I get it. The DeVito magic wore off and everything. Philly covering 14. Oh, yeah. By the way, Perry says getting divorced. Oh, yeah. Dude, this guy, oh, God. I've had a couple friends get divorced, and it's just been brutal. And then my best friend, Chad, he's not been in the chat today, but like his first wife, it was a nightmare. Yeah. He married a really good woman now, but like he told me stories about his first wife, and I'm like, oh God. But yeah, when you get divorced, yeah, it did. Like him and his wife had this really great relationship, and it was kind of funny because I saw some brief cracks in it, and one of the biggest things that led to the divorce was that she wore the pants in the family. And that's a lesson for men. You got to be the leaders of your house. You got to be head of the household. If your wife is running the show, it's just a recipe for disaster. I'm just letting you all know that right now. Hey, listen, I'm a single dude. So I shouldn't give marriage advice, but there's a big difference between a man being the head of the household and a man not being head of the household. Every man I know that's not head of the household is miserable. Every single one. I would tell you to get a divorce and start over. But like I said, I never heard from this guy, but yeah, he went on a huge downward spiral. He was a train wreck. I kind of want to tell you some stories because he did some really crazy. It was fun, but like he did some real crazy shit. He did some real great. We had some good times because I used to party like a rock star. A brief interlude here. So so there was this place. It was this dirty hole in the wall bar where they used to have karaoke, and they used to have Jaeger bombs. And it wasn't just a shot, it was a cup, and they would, they'd fill it, and it'd always be the same thing. I would go there because it was like $2. All right, $2 Jaeger bombs, and it'd always be the same thing. It'd be after 5. you wake up. So anyway, I wake up and he's a big dude. He's like 6'2", 240, and I'm passed out. And he's above me. He goes, "I brought 3 girls over. I just wanted to let you know." And I'm like, "What?" Yeah. So like, he passed out on my couch. Woke up, drove downtown to this 24-hour place called Chubby's. It's like a Denny's, like 24-hour breakfast food. Picks up 3 girls and brings them back to my place. Like, so like we got blackout drunk. He came home. We come back to my place. He passed out on my couch, woke up, left, and then brought 3 girls back to my apartment. Yeah. But that's like a microcosm. But it was always the same thing. Like when we go to this hole in the wall bar, it'd always be like after the 5th Jaeger bomb, you'd wake up. Who knows? There'd be random people over at my place. Yeah, we had some good times. It was crazy. A lot of guys can't handle it and hurt. Yeah, and so one of the things I want to do long term is I want to do a lot more men's self-development, because it's really hard for guys out there. A lot of guys get married, they get divorced, and it breaks them. I've shared this with you. I do something called Walmart Spark. I do Walmart groceries. So what you do is what I do is that I go to a lot of the Walmart stores, and you see it all the time. There'd be a woman with the shopping cart, and she's got this scowl on her face. And I see this every time I go into Walmart. Behind her, like 5 feet behind, walking behind him, is a dude, and you could tell they're married, and he's just running out the clock. He's got his head down. He's just defeated, and she's mad. You could tell she runs the house. She's angry, and divorce kills guys, man. It just kills guys. And so there's so many guys out there that get married to women that just, oh, well, there's a guy, I probably shouldn't tell this story. There's a guy, I can't tell the story, but there's a guy I knew. I'm being very vague about this because I just messaged him not too long ago, and a good thing, but he always had problems with women, and he just married like a warthog. I mean, it's just like, Jesus Christ. But yeah, getting divorced destroys guys. And there's so many guys that just settle for less than what they deserve. Don't get married. Getting married today for a man is a bad investment. I do believe that for the most part, but at the same time, I think that the thing is, what I think is a bigger problem with men is that they settle for less than what they deserve. There's so many men I know that are married, and it's like, why are you with this? Like, why? Why are you with somebody who's 50 pounds overweight who yells at you? Why? And it's one of those things where I think that so many men just give up, and just run out the clock. And by the way, yeah, I'm red pilled myself, and I started. It was Corey Wayne, John Samas, the Bulldog Mindset. He split out to a couple. He's a great channel. Matt Cross he's got 2 channels that's really, really good. But yeah, I listen to a lot of red pill content, and I'm not against marriage, but I am against when you get married to somebody that is just not that good. And men don't realize how valuable they are, how good they are. And they marry these below average women that yell at them, that treat them bad, and they're not even that attractive. And it's really sad. And I would love to get a big following and be like, look, you need to do A, B, C, and D, be the best version of the man that you can be, and go after the girl of your dreams. Don't go after the middle of the road girl. So I used to drink a lot, man. People that can't handle their drinking I used to party. I don't even drink anymore, but yeah. Perry, my wife makes more than me, and she inherited a house. My investment is I don't want to say, but I don't want to say who. He might be mad, but I have a buddy of mine, kind of the same situation. But yeah, and Funk, you're in a good spot, man. I was kind of in a bad spot for a while. I partied really hard for a while, and I stopped. I married up. She's 12 years younger and works in medical. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. By the way, like, if you marry a girl your own age, great. But it's always been in society, and it's women try to convince men that's frowned upon. But men have always dated and married younger, and that's the thing, is that society tries to shame men. Like, I'm 49. All right, I'm 49. My last girlfriend, well, this a couple of years ago, but she was in her 20s. All right, and I like dating girls in their 20s. That's just my personal preference, and that's the way society's been for the longest time. But now you got a bunch of women on social media that are in their 30s and their 40s, like, oh, you're a bad guy if you don't date me. Well, why the fuck do I want to date you? You're bitter and you're angry. I don't want to date a bitter, angry girl. This is, by the way, the attitude you should have, is that she didn't settle. So, problem is, most women think they should be dating Brad Pitt or Chad, and you're right. And there's a content creator. I don't follow him anymore because I find myself being angry at women, but he coined a phrase, or at least this is the first time I ever heard it. I'm not going to mention the guy. Great content creator, by the way. It's just that the more I listen to him, the more I hate women, and you shouldn't. But he coined the phrase 49er, where a girl's a 4 and she thinks she's a 9 because she picks up her phone and just, oh, do I look cute today? And like, and yeah. 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 If you're somebody like me and you date somebody who's in their 30s or 40s and they don't have kids, they usually want kids immediately. And if they do have kids, where do I benefit? Where do I benefit? I like dating girls in their 20s because, as a general rule of thumb, they seem happier. I've tried dating girls around my own age, and it just seems like they're just bitter and angry. And it's mean, but men age like wine and women age like milk. And it's just how it is. Look, women are prettier when they're younger. Men, like, I put on weight. I put on some Christmas weight, but I'm normally 170. But like when I was like, 20 years ago, I was like 150. I look better now because I filled out, shaved my head. Take my word for it. I look better with a shaved head. I can't prove it because I've been shaving my head for like about 15 years. But yeah, 49-year-old Dan is better than 29-year-old Dan. Trust me on this. So yeah, but a 29-year-old woman's going to always 100% of the time be better than their 49-year-old self. So yeah. There's a song by a Canadian band called Thooper. They have a song, 3 dressed up like a 9. It's actually funny. Perry, I don't know if you're on social media, send me a link, but there's a girl, and she said that she was on a dating site, I think Hinge, and she got stood up. She showed everybody her outfit and like real pretty face. But like from the face up looks like 150. And then she panned out and was over 300. Like I'm not, when I say over 300, I mean over 300. And like I said, pretty face, but over 300. And, that's another thing. I go to Walmart and there's a lot of overweight women. You'll see this in every single Walmart. There'll be a husband and a wife, and the wife will outweigh the husband. And that guy, over 90% of the time, is unhappy or looks unhappy. Here's another fun thing to do. If you ever go out, look at a couple, and if the woman's walking in front of the man, right? If the woman's walking in front of the man, the guy, like over half the time, he looks defeated. I see this with kids, like young kids, where the woman's walking in front of the man or the boy, right? It's a young girl, young pretty girl, and she's walking in front of the guy. She controls him. That guy's like her puppy. He's like a puppy. And watch this. If you ever do this, Perry, if you ever, I'm assuming they have Walmarts in Canada. If you see an older couple where the girl's pushing the cart ahead of the guy is usually just looks defeated. If it's a young couple, really, I say young because I see like, college kids, high school kids, and the girl will treat the boy like a puppy, and she'll tease him, she'll make fun of him and insult him, and men are kind of conditioned to just take insulting today. That's one of the things about men today is that they're conditioned to be insulted, they're conditioned to be talked down to, because they grew up thinking that they're supposed to be like Peter Griffin or Homer Simpson, just they're supposed to be the butt of jokes. They're not supposed to be leaders, and that's it's a shame. If you're on social media, Perry, send me some. Some bigger women have a pretty face. A friend of mine's wife was a big, beautiful woman, lost weight and yeah. I saw something where like 98% of married women that have gastro bypass surgery divorce their husband in 1 year. Yeah. There's a lot of girls that got like a trooper 3 dressed up as a, you know what? Hold on. I will hold on here. I want to check this out. All right. I'll check it out. Yeah, there's a lot of women that they're big and then they lose the weight. There was one, I forget which YouTube channel it was. A married couple, they had a kid, and she put on the baby weight, and he went to the gym and he was powerlifting, became, big dude. So he decided powerlifting, and she was mad because there was always the same girl liking his Instagram pictures. She went to the same gym. So what he did to make her feel better, he said, how about we both set up Tinder accounts? We'll watch a movie. We'll come back and just you'll see that there's women out there. And she got like 400 and some requests. He got 1. And she goes, ew, she's not even pretty. You know what she did? She left him for one of those guys on the Tinder account. Yeah. Women do that shit. She didn't lose the weight. I don't know what happened to the guy, but yeah, I mean, I don't like using the word red pill, but yeah, when I became red pill, things really changed and opened my eyes. Corey Wayne YouTube channel. By the way, if you sign up for his newsletter, you get his books for free. How to Be a 3% Man changed my life. I actually emailed Corey Wayne, never responded, but I still love Corey Wayne. It's a free audio book. If you're interested, Perry, it's one that it really did change my life. How to Be a 3% Man. But the one negative about that book is that it's more relationship wise, and it's more relationship wise than like just overall self-improvement. And but yeah, it changed my life. Going back to be a real man. Yeah, and that's the thing, is that men need to be leaders, and they're conditioned by society today to be followers. And when a man's not the head of his household, the woman becomes bitchy. And it just upsets the natural balance of things. And that's what I want to say. Men need to be leaders. Plain and simple. Man, this is a great comment. Feminism really had a negative effect that the original feminists had no intentions on. Damn it, World War II started so much. Yeah, see, the original idea of feminism was a good thing. It's just that, so I was in Army Reserves. So I'm going to clarify, Army Reserves, okay? When I went to boot camp, my drill sergeant said that this is something he called Kentucky windage. If you're 2 clicks off to the left and you adjust your rifle, next thing you know, you're 4 clicks off to the right. All right. And that's kind of what society has done, is that we are too far one way, but we've autocorrected so much that things are out of whack. And men forgot how to be men. They really did. Kevin, another Canadian tune, She Ain't Pretty, She Just Looks That Way by the Northern Pikes. Man, I'm getting some awesome. All right. Why not here? Northern Pikes. She ain't pretty. She just looks that way. Huh. All right. I'll check out. Another thing I'll check out. Yeah. But yeah, as my channel gets bigger, I'd really like to do more men's self-development, because I think there's a lot of guys out there that just kind of give up, and it's sad. And you don't need to. There's lots of young women out there dying to date a man who's a leader, who's in charge, who takes chances. And I suggest that, I suggest everybody, do your best to be the best possible man you can be. So again, with the Giants, for my rant, the Giants at Philly, I'm really surprised Philly, most 80 hairbands help. Okay, condition. So what he says, most 80 hairbands help condition us to be simps. You're correct. I think it's really more with the 90s. Somebody said the show Friends just changed everything. And I don't know about that, but like it really, I think it more started in the 90s. But yeah, a lot of 80s hairband guys. But yeah, I mean, society has taught men to be weak. Society has conditioned men to be weak, and to try to be the leader, to try to take charge, it's frowned upon. And men need to be leaders. Men need to be leaders. Okay, so man, I went off topic today, man, but this is something I'm kind of passionate about. So kind of passionate about this. That's yeah. I would say more than 90s, because like I think like I was a huge fan of Nirvana, and all right, next game. You're right. All right, we're done. Final game, the best game of the week. Baltimore at San Francisco. San Francisco opened up its 5.5-point favorite. They're now 6. Okay. I have Baltimore as an upset. Right now, I think San Francisco, when they're healthy, I think they're the best team in football. I like Baltimore in this one. Ross was the prototype simp. Yeah. Bringing me back. Yeah. So many men are conditioned. Sex in the City also destroyed women. I had an old girlfriend tell me that Sex in the City changed her life. And and to give her credit though, she did get married, but last time I talked to her, she said that they had an open relationship, and I thought she was trying to screw me, but it turns out to be that her husband was just cheating on her, and she just kind of dealt with it. Yeah, she was kind of a basket case. So, but anyhow, yeah. Baltimore at San Francisco. San Francisco is 5.5. People are betting on it. Reality-based TV shows. Yeah, I don't watch any of that. I watched, I think, 30 minutes of Love After Lockup, and it just made me sad. It's funny because, like, you know, a buddy of mine, he used to work in the prison system, and he worked in a women's prison, and he said it's like 95% of them come back, but the guys that get out, some of them have girlfriends, and all of them are like in bad shape. Almost all of them. I watched like 30 minutes of it. So it was like three guys, and the girls kind of ran things, and then the girls that were with the dudes. Oh God, those guys. Oh God, the definition of weak. I think every single girl like left on or cheated or, you know, just totally took advantage of the guys that like sent them stuff while they're in jail and stuff like that. So, but Love After Lockup, that was the only show I watched ever. I watched like 30 minutes of it. It made me sad. It made me sad. So apparently so like the people that do the show, they get paid. It's something crazy. It's like $200 an episode. It's something ridiculously small. It's something. It's like 100 or 250. Do not watch that show. It's just terrible. But I had Baltimore winning. I think San Francisco, when healthy, they're the best team in football. I don't think they have a lot of depth. That's the problem, is that they don't have a lot of depth, just like the Rams don't, but the Rams have a lot of rookies that are starting to play better. And they have guys that's kind of developed as the season's gone on. San Francisco, if they have one or two, I mean, you can say this for almost every team, but San Francisco has no depth. They're healthy, and I think they're the best team in football. I like Baltimore in this one. I think Lamar Jackson makes a strong case to be NFL MVP here. I really do. Okay, I went way off topic today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the rant. I do want to do like quote unquote more red pill content down the line because I know there's a lot of guys out there struggling. One of the things I'd like to do is help guys out because it's so much harder on men than it was, and you know, society conditions men to be weak, and I really want to encourage you that, you know, take chances, take charge of your life. So 49ers are only going as far as Purdy can take them. He means Brock Purdy. And I think that Purdy is having a great year if he can stay healthy. Remember last year he got hurt and hurt in the NFC Conference Championship game. CMC's never been able to stay healthy. He stayed healthy so far. If they stay healthy, they're going to a Super Bowl. But Kittle's never been able to stay healthy. Deebo Samuel's missed a couple games. CMC's never been able to stay healthy. Trent Williams missed a couple games. I mean, I can kind of go on and on and on. But I like Baltimore. I have some upsets this week. The thing is, guys don't really have friends anymore. Yeah, they really don't. And that's kind of one of the things like I kind of really like about that is I'm trying to build a community here of just guys just talking football. You know, but I mean, I want to do more. Well, I'm going to do like self-development. One Pride has not commented, but he sends me some stuff, things like working out, doing Mai Tai. He sent me some pictures, you know, things like that. And I really love those things. Women have to take over guys' spaces. And that's part of the thing is that men are conditioned to not set boundaries. Like I'm 5'8". It's 100% acceptable to make fun of me for being short, but it's not acceptable for me to say, hey, you know, you're about 30 pounds overweight. I don't want to go out with you. But a girl can tell me, no, you're too short. She can be short too. Now, I've also dated the girl I was telling you about earlier. She was 5'9". She's for heels. So we go out in public, she would tower over me. I had a 5'11" girlfriend. I had a girlfriend who claimed she was 5'9", but I'm pretty sure I was taller than her, about like an inch. But it's perfectly acceptable to make fun of me because I'm short. I'm 5'8". Now, keep in mind, a lot of times I wear cowboy boots. The shoes I wear are Brooks a lot of cushioning. So like maybe I'm like 5'9". It's just I wear shoes that have cushioning. That's because of a motorcycle accident. My left foot's destroyed after a motorcycle accident. Like I can't wear things like flip flops or Crocs or sandals. My foot cannot handle it. So like I have to. But yeah, I'm short. I like being short for the most part. But I mean, let's be honest. If a girl had to choose between somebody who's 6 foot and a guy who's 5'8", she'd always go for the 6 foot guy. But I'm a good looking dude, so it works out. One guy I used to work with did kickboxing and got in shape. Yeah, one pride's doing Muay Thai. I used to take Krav Maga. I have a Smith machine, which is right over here. You can't see it behind the screen here, but I do a daily workout. Today I ate a bunch of junk food, but I watch what I eat and I do a daily workout, and that's something I always encourage for men to do. Yeah. Right. No, well, today I could have, but usually during the summer I run. I could have run today because it's in the 50s, but I am short. A lot of women. Yeah, Perry. If you go on a dating app, most women, if you're not 6 foot, will just swipe left regardless. But trust me when I say this, a lot of girls that say I only date 6 foot will date you. Trust me. The girl I was telling you about who got married. Yeah, she told me her last boyfriend was like 6'4" or something. She used to wear heels and tower over me, and never bothered. She picked a fight with me once and brought it up, and I was like, well, wear flats or don't go out with me. And she's like, no, it's not that. I just said it. No, I trust me. If you're secure, it really doesn't matter. I've had taller girls. I've dated a lot of girls taller than me. I really have. It doesn't matter. But if you're doing a dating app, then yes, you'll be singled out. And dating apps suck. It sucks because a while back, I did meet a couple girlfriends off dating apps. You used to be able to meet women off dating apps. I think it's impossible. I would not recommend it. I would recommend, however, talking to as many girls as you can. That's the best thing to do. I'm trying to build up my YouTube channel. I got some things with my finances I want to iron out because I'm good looking. I stay in good shape, but my finances are not in order. Once this channel grows and I'm making more money and my finances are set, then I'm making a big play to go out in the dating world. I'm going to make right now, I don't really date. Once my finances get set up, then I'm going to make a big push to date as much as I can. And I'm going to share that all with you guys. Yeah, I have kind of like a whole plan of how I wanted to do that and everything. So I think that's it, man. I mean, we went over the games. I ran it a lot. I got college football in the DVR. I will be live Christmas Day. That's Monday. Live Christmas Day. I will be live on YouTube. So join me Christmas Day. Do you think the Panthers will regret trading up for Young? I want to see what he can do. I think it's too soon. Who they get as a head coach is going to be a big deal. But right now, yeah, but it'll go back. So I used to be 6 foot even. I'm probably 5'11", lower back issues. My L4 and L5 look like a cloud on the next. Ew, that sounds bad. Yeah. So I've done online dating, right? And I know that there's a lot of girls. It was funny. No, I don't want to tell that story, but I mean, yeah, back issues are really bad. But yeah, but listen, girls that on a dating app say they only date 6 foot and taller, they will date. I've dated girls like that. So trust me, you if you're 5'8", like myself, you can date taller women. I mean, I've dated taller women. My last girlfriend used to call herself 5 foot on a good day. But I've dated anywhere from 5 foot to 5'11", and it's really not an issue. It's how you conduct yourself. If you have some confidence and learn a little bit of game, It's not that. There's so much more I want to go on, but I think I'm just going to wrap up. If anybody's got any final thoughts, questions, suggestions, anything, I will be live Monday night, Christmas, or Monday morning. Perry will be 10:55 Mountain Time, 11:55. I'll be live on YouTube for Chiefs Raiders. So yeah. Perry, that's why I refuse to have them fused together. Everybody I know that's had back surgery has worse pain. Yeah. I was the smallest guy on the football team by a large margin, and I wanted to lift with those guys. So we were doing deadlifts, and I tried to do the same weight that they were doing. I couldn't do it. So like after I picked the weight up as much as I could, I pulled something in my lower back, and it's just my lower back's always just been weird since then. I don't know what it is. I just know my lower back from time to time. Not nearly as bad as you. I remember meeting one woman, seriously, there's women like that. And a lot of time, if you just project some confidence and take charge, she'll ignore all that shit. It's a shit test is what it is. That book's just a shit test. All you got to do is ignore it and move forward. Matt Cross, look up Matt Cross 33 Secrets, and he has a lot of really good dating advice. And that's if you're into dating. My path is that I have to put dating on the back burner until I get my finances ironed out. But once I start dating and getting out there, I'm actually going to share all of my experiences with you guys, because like there's kind of a thing that I've been wanting to do. I kind of shared a little bit of it with One Pride, but that's just a shit test, and don't ever take that serious. So I'll end it on that note. Guys, I hope to see you all back on Christmas. All my social media links are listed below. If you haven't already, check out my NFL Week 16 picks video. If I don't see you, Merry Christmas. I will be on Monday, and I'll be back on Tuesday. Friday is a college football special with Denver Gators, so I hope to see all of you on Christmas. But if I don't, Merry Christmas. Have a great weekend, and I can't wait to see you soon.